Hi, and welcome to Run Tall with Tim, the YouTube channel that's dedicated to all runners everywhere. I'm Tim, and I upload running videos each week. If you're new to the channel, I post videos on both Wednesday and Saturday mornings, and that's at 5 a.m. Standard Eastern Time here in the US. I also like to post bonus videos once in a while, but I never know when or what day of the week I'm going to do that. So if you enjoy watching running shoe reviews and other videos related to running, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time that I upload new content. Also, if you want to try to save yourself a little time, I try to make that easy for you. If you open the description, there you're going to see where I've created chapters. Just click on a timestamp for the part of the video that you want to watch, and it's going to take you right there. On today's episode, I'm taking a real close look at a shoe from Reebok. It's their Floatride Energy 3. Now, I'm pretty excited to put these shoes on my feet, but before we get into it too far, let me just demonstrate what it looks like to run in these shoes. That way you can get a good sense of how that foam reacts when I strike the ground, the pronation, all of that kind of good stuff. But then when we come back together, we're going to take a real deep dive into the Reebok Floatride Energy 3 to see if it's the right shoe for you. What a fun run I had in these, and it was terrific to be out running on a day when the roads weren't covered in snow and ice for a change. We had a little bit of a warm up, so the sidewalks were pretty much clear for the most part, and it just makes my workout that much more enjoyable, and these shoes just kind of topped it off for me. So let's talk about the cost. They're really affordable. You can pick these up on Reebok's website for $100 US. Now, the weight of these shoes, also love that too. These are a lightweight daily trainer. They have a stated weight on their website for a men's size 9 of 8.5 ounces or a women's size 8 at 7.1 ounces. So gotta love that. For me, for a daily trainer, if it can come in under 10 ounces, I'm usually pretty happy. So 8.5 ounces, big thumbs up on that. So now let's take a close look to see what we're getting for that 8.5 ounces and $100 US. And as we zoom in and we take a look at the upper on these shoes, the first thing I want to note is that they did run just a tad longer. Not so much so that I felt like I had to go down a half size. If I had the option to go down a quarter size, that I think would have been perfect for me. But just know that they do run a little bit long. The toe box I felt had ample room. I didn't feel like that there was, my feet were swimming up there, but I felt like I had plenty of room for my toes to display when I wanted them to. But I still had a nice snug fit across my midfoot. And it's made out of a square knit mesh material that, it's still cool here. So it's hard for me to say what it's going to feel like to run in these in hot weather. But in this cooler weather, they felt great. My feet were really comfortable when I was out running. I felt like there was plenty of airflow through that square knit mesh material to keep me comfortable when I was out there working out. Now, as we pan around to the side of the shoe, you can see that they do have some plastic overlays here, and that's to give it a little bit of stability or structure to the upper. as well as some durability. And you can see that they have their Reebok logo there, as well as some other plastic materials. And again, that's to add a little bit of durability and structure to that upper. And I found that to be just fine. I didn't feel like that inhibited the flexibility of the shoe at all. And as we work our way around to the heel counter, you can see that they have a little bit of structure there as well. So now let's turn our attention to the lace enclosure system. No big wow factor here, but it gets the job done. They do have some plastic overlay to give those eyelets a little extra durability and strength, so you don't have to worry about your laces pulling through or anything along those lines. They do have the extra eyelet in case you want to run with this runner's knot. And as I mentioned, I was able to get a nice, secure, snug down fit across my midfoot. I didn't have any issues with that at all. These felt really comfortable. No issues. Now let's talk about the tongue. Tongue's a little bit puffy. It's probably, more padded than it maybe needs to be. And it's made out of this neoprene material. And I think as the weather gets warmer, that might come into play. It won't be quite as cool underfoot as maybe some other running shoes might be that's made out of a slightly different material or a little less padded. But it did feel comfortable. It laid flat on my foot. I didn't have any hot spots or issues as a result of that neoprene material. As you can see here, it is a fully gusseted tongue, and that too can inhibit the airflow. So right now with the cooler weather, again, these are really comfortable underfoot. But as the weather gets hotter here over the next few months, so some more testing is going to need to be done on my part in order to be able to give you a better idea of just how much airflow there is in warmer weather conditions. So now let's take a look at the padding around the heel collar and tab of the shoe. And I would say that they have a pretty standard padding around here. It's not overly done, but it has plenty there to keep you feeling comfortable when you're out running. And, these are the kinds of shoes that kind of can do it all, right? So, I was impressed with what I think is going to be a lot of versatility. And, as we look at that padding around the heel collar, it's plenty to keep you comfortable, whether you're going out on a shorter or longer workout. Also, you can see here that they have a slight Achilles heel flare, and I found that to be really comfortable on foot. Now, for the heel counter, I would say that it just has some structure there. This is not a stability shoe, but it does have a little bit of structure in that heel counter to help you with some pronation issues, but not, again, this is not a stability shoe. But as somebody who runs in stability shoes quite often, I felt like these were, okay. That I didn't feel like I was going to get injured by running in these shoes. So now let's take a look. Oh, before I move on, this is such a little thing, but I like to mention it from time to time. I say time to time, pretty much every video of running shoe reviews that I do, and that's that they do have a removable insole. I know it sounds like it's a little thing, but when you're out running and your feet get sweaty in the summertime, especially, at least here in Michigan, it's nice to be able to pull those out just to kind of wash them up, let them air dry, and then put them back in just to add that extra bit of comfort to your shoes. Or you may want to even replace them to give you a more customized fit in the shoe. Now, just know that this is a pretty thin insole or sock liner. So if you're going to replace it with a thicker one to give you a little extra comfort, or maybe even to give you a little extra stability with an orthotic style, that it's going to take up some of the volume in the shoe. And so you might have a more snug fit if you do that. So let's talk about the midsole of the shoe. And this is what I always call the engine of the shoe. And we're talking about their Floatride Foam material underfoot here. And we're going to talk about the stack height first. They have 26 millimeters in the heel and 17 millimeters in the forefoot for a 9 millimeter offset from the heel to the toe. Now, these did feel pretty soft and pretty well cushioned. Now, they're not a maximum cushion daily training running shoe, but they do offer plenty of cushion to help keep you comfortable when you're out running. And this foam is, to me, you get what you give. So, if you're running at a slower pace, and it feels really comfortable at any pace that you run, to me anyway, but at that slower pace, you're going to get a little more cushion, a little softer ride. But as you pick up the pace, And the more effort you put into it, the more you're compressing that foam, the more that foam springs back. So for me, I felt like that was a really enjoyable feeling. And on a lot of my workouts, I have several hills that I go up and down, and I felt like I was getting a little extra push trying to get up those hills. Not like you would maybe with a nylon plated shoe or something along those lines, but I did feel like I was getting some help from that Floatride foam material underfoot. So I really appreciated that. It's a really comfortable shoe, regardless if you're heel striking or midfoot striking or striking up in your forefoot. And I felt really natural in these as I moved through my gait cycle. So I did appreciate that. And these are qualities that I have found in shoes that have a much higher price tag. So now let's flip these shoes over and we'll take a look at the outsole, see how they're protecting that Floatride foam that you have underfoot. And here, as we can see that they use carbon rubber, and I appreciate that because that carbon rubber, that is really durable, and they have plenty of it here to both give you some durability as well as to give you a little traction when you're out running. So I appreciate that, and I don't feel like they skimped at all. So again, these are an affordable shoe, but it has some, in this case, higher end types of features, and I would say that carbon rubber is one of those features, along with that Floatride material. And so, when we start to ask ourselves, is this the right shoe for me? Well, if you're looking for a daily trainer that's really versatile, one that you can put a lot of miles on, because I think the durability here is going to be up to that 400 or 500 mile range. So I think you're going to get your money's worth out of it, in terms of distance that you're going to be running in these. But also, you can do so much in these. You can take these out on long runs and feel really comfortable. You can pick up the pace, so you can use them for, progression run, something along those lines. I think you could easily do a tempo workout in these, but you can also take these out on a recovery run. So, in terms of their versatility, I think they've got it. I really have been enjoying running in these shoes, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for making it to the end. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.